I started out in a very different time, so I'm not going to talk too much about that because I don't think it's super, a lot of it isn't super relevant except for one thing, which was when I first started, there was a sense then of if we want to make the kinds of stories that we want to see, we have to take it into our own hands. There was a kind of like, a little bit of a do-it-yourself that I think is very prevalent right now, not just about production, but about distribution too. And that, I think, is a very exciting thing. It's scary because it's a whole new model, and there's no rule book yet, but I think it's ultimately very exciting. And right now, we are shooting 3 films practically back to back. And I'm going to tell you about them because it's sort of interesting, because they're 3 very different types of models in terms of their financing, distribution, etc. The first one is a film called Deep Powder that we are making for a company called Vugaroo. Vugaroo is Michael Eisner's online production company. And he finances movies specifically to premiere online. And it's kind of new territory, that everything is different in terms of, contracting the crew, the actors, everything. And it reminds me a little bit of, say 10 years ago when HBO was first kind of making its mark, they tried, when they would try to attract filmmakers or actors of a certain caliber, everyone was terrified to go to television. I know that's not true in every country, but it was very true in the States. No one, you either did film or you did TV at that time. I think now the same thing's happening with the web in the sense that people are nervous about making movies specifically to premiere online, and actors are nervous about participating, etc. But I think that's going to change very soon as the quality goes up, because what somebody like Michael Eisner does in order to entice filmmakers is he gives you as much freedom as possible. Second one is a film called Kill Your Darlings, which was financed in a very old-fashioned pre-sales and equity way. It stars Daniel Radcliffe, Elizabeth Olsen, Michael C. Hall, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Jack Houston, and Ben Foster. And it's a first-time director. It took me years to get it financed, and it really got financed because I attached Harry Potter. And and that's a low-budget film, under $5 million. And then the last one is a film called Magic, which starts shooting April 2nd, which is directed by Sebastian Silva, who is a Chilean director who made a movie called The Maid, which was a very big international success. And this is his first English language movie. It's shooting in Chile, and it stars Michael Cera, Emily Browning, and Juno Temple. And it was financed really by a big sale for a lot of territories to Sony. Used to be, we would take a film to a film festival and hope to sell it there, usually an all rights deal, the whole world or most of the world for the next 20, 25 years, right? And in exchange, we hope to get at least our budget and a little more. And we would make movies kind of, try to gauge what the budget should be by the talent attached, by the the experience of the director, by the timeliness of the story, whether it was genre, comedy, whatever. We kind of put all that together and figure out that we would make it for this amount and hopefully sell it for that amount. Now, what's happened is because DVD has gone by the wayside, and because because we're now dealing with the fact that people want to watch what they want to watch, when they want to watch it, on whatever they want to watch it on. So now we're thinking more, we're trying to think a little bit more about, if you take something to market, are you going to break up the rights, for example, and maybe do a situation where you're licensing your film for a year or two, and you're controlling how you sell it to Netflix or iTunes or any number of online platforms, and perhaps that would include a theatrical release or and maybe break theatrical off. Those are the kinds of things that we're starting to think about now. I mean, we're in a stronger position simply because, somehow we keep figuring out how to make movies, and that's, and the reason we keep figuring it out is because we are incredibly adaptable. If it's about the net, we go to the net. If it's about television, we go to television. We are platform agnostic, and we're budget agnostic. I mean, we go where it feels like the best way to get our stories made. I get a little annoyed at the degree to which filmmakers who haven't even made a film yet will talk to me about, how they're branding themselves and et cetera. And honestly, I think it just comes down to, again, like, you gotta make something great. And if you make something really great, then you will be able to find your audience through all these different platforms.